Really? Really? Out of all the things I've praised Xbox for the past couple of weeks now, you pull this shit? No, I pity Microsoft and Xbox. Hawk spit on you. Disgusting ass platform with the most devious shit I've ever seen. In my lifetime, I have probably produced higher quality bodily fluids out of my orifices than the quality of news that we pretty much always hear from Xbox. So what has Xbox decided to do this time? Well, Asha, I gave her praise. I did. She's trying her best and she's doing her grand master plan to reset Xbox. But in the process of resetting Xbox, they're going to lay off a bunch of people. Well, how much? Shit, try 3,200. But, in the meantime, we have 1,600 today. Oh, wonderful. 1,600 people losing their jobs. It is truly impressive, though, how shitty this company continues to go. 1,600 people, yeah. So now I guess we're instead of us, rooting for one or the other company, we're now rooting to see which one can do more terribly, PlayStation or Xbox. Though, to get into it, I don't think it's a terrible strategy, and I'm going to tell you why. Xbox, to most public knowledge, has been terribly managed for a very long time. That is pretty much factual. We all know how terrible Xbox has been over the past couple of years. They have spent more time spending money instead of making money. They have instead bought out companies, bought out different developers, instead of having those developers actually make good games. Instead, they're just buying, and not spending any money. And with Phil Spencer, he was the main leader of that shit happening. When he got the boot, most people thought, okay, this is the moment where Xbox can finally make a comeback. So I guess in Microsoft and Xbox's infinite wisdom, I guess they thought it was a good idea to cut out a lot of people. From what the leaks have said, it was mostly middle management. What does that mean? Middle management is usually the people who aren't really quite doing nothing that's important, but they're also not doing anything that's like worthless. No, more like they are doing worthless shit. Like, don't get me wrong, there were probably some developers that got laid off in this process. Again, we're talking about 1,600 people. There's no telling who got laid off. But from what leaks say, they say it's mostly middle management. So really just people who weren't really doing anything that was as of importance. So it's not entirely bad on what she's doing. I get the idea. I get the vision. She's trying to clean house and give the reset. But it just still sucks because people are losing their jobs. So now we have two companies who are fighting to be the worst. We have Xbox, who is laying off their entire workforces, and we have PlayStation killing physical media. What could possibly be worse for gaming right now? I truly believe this is the worst it's been in a long time, and I don't want to feel like that. I really don't. I was rooting for Xbox. I really was. I made that entire video a few weeks ago, and I got a little bit of hate for it in the comments, but overall, I made that video because I do want these brands to do well. I don't say you should swear your allegiance to them, swear over to the empire, but I am saying that these companies, if they compete against each other and they do properly, then we can have a healthy ecosystem. It just sucks that now they're just competing to see who's the worst rather than the best, and it's especially worse for Xbox because at least PlayStation has been doing financially well for a while now. It's an understatement how well PlayStation does. Xbox, however, has been in the shitter for about 6.5 years, and if you really want to be mean, you can say fucking 16 at this point with the whole Xbox One situation. It is terrible of this to happen to Xbox. It's a shame. And what got worse for me personally, I guess, is that though the layoffs were bad, I was wondering what studios were directly affected. This was when I had the unfortunate news to find out that out of all developers to get affected by this, id Software was one of them. If you don't know what id Software is or what they do, they make the Doom series. One of the most financially profitable franchises that Xbox owns and has owned for a while now, ever since the ZeniMax deal. Doom makes money. So why are you cutting the jobs for the studio that makes you money? These are the stupid decisions that I'm not quite understanding why Asha decided to pull the trigger on. I can understand cutting jobs on people who aren't doing nothing, of course. I mean, shit, I would fire somebody immediately for not doing their job right. But id Software, really? The guys who make Doom, the guys who literally just dropped a DLC update for the newest, the Dark Ages? Really? Oh man, that's just wonderful to know. Yeah, great. Lay off half of the fucking studio, the workforce, because that's sure gonna increase company mentality. It perplexes the mind on why many console gamers are now switching over to the PC. Because when you have these companies who keep making these dumb decisions and ruining their platforms, it kind of turns people off from wanting to support you. It's already bad enough this lady was from the AI department in Microsoft. Let's be honest. That was already the bad part. I didn't really speak about that because when the news broke that she was the new CEO, I didn't make a video. My bad. But she was a part of the AI department, and her making dumb decisions is really not good for her PR or Xbox's PR in general. Yeah, Xbox's PR was doing pretty well for about a couple of weeks. I mean, it's still not nowhere near where it should be, but it was halfway decently doing okay. But these layoffs have just continuously ruined what Xbox is trying to build. Taking your golden goose and then just throwing them out the window, I have never understood. If your golden goose lays the best eggs, then why get rid of that one? I mean, it makes no sense. You don't get rid of the one that's dropping the good shit. You get rid of the ones that ain't doing really anything. Like 343, Halo Studios. What the fuck have they been doing? Infinite was pretty fucking mid, you know what I mean? There's many other studios that these dumbasses at Activision and Blizzard and Xbox, they own. They can be chopping those guys off, but instead you choose id Software. Now, don't get me wrong. I do feel personally attacked by this because I like Doom. I do. Doom the Dark Ages wasn't as good as 2016 or Eternal, but it was good. It was still high quality stuff, man. But it's like the greed of these companies outweighs any kind of good potential or any goodwill they could ever have. 3,200 jobs, people's livelihoods that are being fucked with right now because these companies think that laying off people is better than having those people actually make money for you. I don't understand the mentality of buying out all these studios and not doing anything with them. You're buying these studios and not getting anything. Bethesda ain't doing shit. I mean, where is it gonna go? Where do we get to a point where we realize, what the fuck? You know what I mean? It's so frustrating. I don't get every day. I think I said the thing I said today. The things I tell you today is the same thing I said on Twitter. It's like good gravy. When does this industry get a break? When do we have a break where something positive happens? It feels like the only thing that positive ever happens either comes from individual titles, it comes from indie games, or it comes from something that's related to PC, like Steam, for example, or GOG. But PlayStation shits the bed, Nintendo shits the bed, Xbox shits the bed. I see people talk about the goodness of Nintendo on Twitter, and I'm like, you guys must have forgotten what's happened in the past. I never forget, personally. I never forget. But Nintendo is not any much better than Xbox or PlayStation. I don't give a fuck what somebody tells you. Don't listen to them. Okay, Nintendo has made just the same amount of failures. Maybe not as much. I won't lie. That was a lie. Oh, let me take that back. Okay. Oh, whoa. No. I don't think Nintendo has made as many mistakes, especially as many mistakes as Xbox. But Nintendo has made greedy decisions and greedy stuff in the past. They're not absolved of their sins. Definitely not. Nobody's perfect, but these companies, they're the worst in my opinion because they rip off people on the daily and then they fire employees who are probably genuinely talented and that they want to make games, but you constantly have people who give them shit ideas to make good games, and then you wonder why the games come out to be shit. Like, you look at games like Concord fucking failed. You want to know why Concord failed? Because it was a bad idea in the first place. Those talented developers probably didn't even want to make that. It truly is the corporates. It's the suits. That's the major issue with the industry that I feel like nobody is talking about, okay? Those are the worst, man. It's the suits. It's the ones that are making the dumb ideas for video games. Look at Marathon. It's like nobody wants that. And then you force your developers to make these games. They pump out something. They shit out something. It might not be that good. You, dear viewer, have probably shit out something better than Xbox can. Then they make these shitty games, and then the corporate executives wonder why it didn't do so well. They thought it was a good idea. They thought about it last night while they were eating dinner at a multi-million-dollar fucking restaurant, and then they come to the office next day. They give the developers the ideas. These guys who are working their butts off to get these titles out, and then these fucking Mongols, these homunculuses, it's like, it's just so fucking frustrating. It's like, you can't win with some of these suits. You can't win with their shitty ideas. They pump the game out, the game flops, the company takes a big hit to the financials. Then that quarterly earning comes in. And then they start cutting people's jobs. The people who didn't deserve it. Yes, the low-hanging fruit. Those people, yes, those people get cut off. Those people are the ones that get fired. The talented ones are the ones that get fired, not the corporate executives. They keep their jobs. They keep their pay bonuses and shit. That's how the industry works, and that's how it's been working for a while now. And it's unfortunate. It's an unfortunate reality. And that's why a lot of people are starting to support indie developers and indie companies more than they're supporting these giant, massive, conglomerate, fucking homunculus sized, like, just these weird, like I say, Xbox and PlayStation. Nobody wants to deal with these people. People don't want to deal with these companies, man. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about us. They don't even care about the art form half the time. You see, they would rather hire the lead person over the AI section in Microsoft. They would rather hire somebody like that than hire an actual gamer. That's the reality of the situation we live in, and it is sad to see. So, yeah. Anyways, though, that's all I had to yap about. See ya.